Welcome back to the long awaited video. Now we've got some major problems with the E60. So we're going to be stripping it all down. I'm going to be doing the timing chain, and I'm going to be replacing the rocker arms. I'm basically going to take the cylinder head off now. I've never done this before. Never changed a cam belt, and I never changed a timing chain either. So I've been watching a lot of videos on this, so let's get it stripped down and then we'll take it from there. Majority of it is all done. Just need to get the timing cover off and I'll show you what the problem is. The rocker arms, look at that one there. Some of the rocker arms are just, I don't know if it's wear and tear or what, but while I've got to take the cams out and take the chain off, etc., I may as well do the chain, and I may as well just strip it all down, take it into my house and have a look at all the valves, give them a clean, and so on and so on. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to try and video it the best I can. So let's get the vacuum pump out of the way. These are two 13mm bolts, I believe. Right, I'm going to come back rather than bore you with undoing this. So there's a pipe here. Normally it's got a clip on, but I've already taken the clip off, so undo the back pipe, get that out of the way, and as I said, two 13mm bolts, and it should slip out. I think there's two. I don't think there's one on there. There is two. So I'll do that and come back. So what I'm doing now is I've got my locking tool and I'm just finding top dead center, and I'll just show you. Don't know if you can see that. Just try and aim it. You see those two marks there? So the inlet camshaft has got a one mark on it and the exhaust one's got two, so it has to be between that. So that's top dead center. So I'm also now going to check if the crank is at top dead center as well, so because you have to time them together, you see. So that's why I'm doing that first, so I can get an idea of what I need to get it back to. Okay, I've got the vacuum pump off, the crank pulley, boost hose, and one of the intake hoses all off. Just doing a bit of practicing to make sure I get this right, as I've never done it before. Now the crank is also at TDC. Just got to make sure, just tell you where the pin is. The pin goes, I don't know if you can see that or not, I'll try my best to show you, but it's just, what can I tell you? Just below where that blue hose is. Just below that blue holes in that ridge. That's where the pin goes. So I'm going to leave this at TDC because I need to get a bolt, a socket for that, and a socket for that for the high pressure pump cover, and also I'm waiting for the high pressure pump special tool that you need to crack the pump off. I've taken most of the timing cover bolts off. So that's about it. I mean, I'm going to take the cylinder head off because bear with me a second. Forgot to mention a few things. Your coolant hoses have to come off, so just make a record of where they go. I've put my bolts in like an envelope and I've labelled them all up so I know. Also, you need to loosen the power steering pump in order to get to some of these timing cover bolts. I think I'm going to have to loosen the tensioner. I'm not entirely sure on that one. I'm going to have a look at a video on that one. I think you do. So here's what I found. I'm just going to show you if I can get a good view. The chain is tight on that side, but on this side I can't get my screwdriver in. Okay, we've got further now. You have to take the air compressor off and move it to the side in order to get to one of the timing case bolts. You have to take the little black bracket that sits on the side holding the air compressor. You've got to take the tensioner off, which is held by a 10mm bolt at the back. You have to undo that and then you just pull it out. 17mm for these two, hexagonal. One of these, that's for the high pressure pump cover, and that's for the tensioner cover. To get the alternator out the way, power steering pump out the way. Now, when I took all the bolts off, it still wouldn't come undone. That's because there's a bolt underneath the guide rail. As far as I can see, you can't get that guide rail out unless you take the cams out. So I'm going to have to get the cams out, then I can get this out of the way and get to that bolt. So that's the next job. Now, in nearly all the other videos they don't explain how to get the chain off. Now you might think you have to detension, but you don't. It's a simple case of get your screwdriver and does the guide rail go that way? Yeah, that way. Get your screwdriver. So the guide rail's sat like that in there on the chain. Get your screwdriver. Once you took the bolt off, obviously the guide rail bolt. Just get your screwdriver and winch it that way. Get the guide rail out, then the chain will just fall off. Just thought I'd mention. State of that tensioner in there, can you see it? if you can see that. Let me just try and get... Look at it with the spring sticking out. Fucking hell. There's the bolt I was talking about. So I'm just going to get that off. Okay, a little update. The oil pan is off. Now, I haven't done it the way you're supposed to do it. I wouldn't recommend you do this, to be honest. You know, it's a bit unorthodox. I wouldn't say it's really dangerous, but the engine is supported by me jacking up the gearbox, and then obviously I've lowered the subframe very slowly, and I've got the oil pan out. But to be honest, I'd recommend a what you call it, engine beam. I'm just a risk taker, but to be honest, I think it'd be fine. It'd be fine. They're not flimsy, these cars. They're not made out of plastic, the engines. Okay, but anyway, let me show you what I found in the sump. Now, I did make a video. Not a video. I did make a... What are you doing? Oh, it's my dog. I did make a video where I tested to see if one of those grommets that come off the inlet manifold can fall in, and I found it couldn't. Well, when I lost a grommet, I couldn't find it anywhere. I figured it might have just been sat on the gearbox or something. Look what I found in the oil sump. There it is. No wonder this car started running like shit. I think there are a few sparkly bits in there as well, so I might have to have a look at the rod bearings as well. But wow, that's mad, that. So that must have been in there that whole time. I think it must have been, because when I was taking the sump off... Ooh, what's this? Oh dear, there's something else stuck in there as well. Let me grab that. Let me grab a screwdriver. Stuck down there now. It's not going to go in there. Right, I'll grab that in a minute, wherever that is, I'm not sure. But anyway, that looks like another bit that's come off. So anyway, when I was taking the sump off, something just went, and I was like, what the hell is that? And it's that, it must have been wedged up there. That is crazy. Might have a few metally bits. Is that a metally bit? Okay, folks, that's how far I've got on it yet. I'm going to keep a documentation. My second living room is basically an engine centre now. Everything's laid out in order. So, you know, as I say, you know, it's the first time I'm doing this. Hey, look, if I fail, I fail. It's all about learning. You've got to try. Don't ever give in. Check you soon.